Hey, I'm Will Saris. I'm an actor and a YouTube host, and I'm here at the Barnum Museum asking people, who is Barnum to you? Today we're talking with Marian O'Keefe, who's been working at the museum since 1998. So what brought you to the museum?
Well, I'm from Boston, but you can't hardly tell. But I've worked in museums wherever I've lived. We're coming back to Connecticut, and I thought if we end up in the Valley, I'd like to work at the Barnum Museum. I told my husband. And as soon as we moved in, I came down. And I worked as a weekend manager for a while, and then I ended up as a volunteer. And I've stayed. I just love it. They're nice people to work with, and I like Barnum.
This is kind of the big question that this show is built around, which is, who is Barnum to you?
He had a quote, one, make people happy. And I've done tours in many museums, and some you can't be funny. You can be funny too and make people laugh. And that's what I enjoy about Barnum. I can find funny things to tell people, because when you studied history, you had to remember dates and names and history that you really didn't care about. The way I do it, they remember what I tell them. And they have a good laugh, and they usually come back and bring friends, and that's why I do it. I come out of here feeling good. I've done something right. So,
given that you have been the person who has taken a lot of people on tours here, what did a tour look like for you? You know, when you would, what was maybe your favorite object or thing to show people?
Well, just coming in the door, they hit Jumbo, the big picture of Jumbo, and I explained how he got his name and why the word now means big. They run over to have a picture taken with them, and then I explained to them about the Fiji mermaid that's here. It wasn't a monkey. It was a head of a baboon, the body of an orangutan, and a tail of a fish. And people look at it. It's not the greatest thing to look at here, but they always heard about the monkey that Barnum was trying to show. And we have an exact replica of it, and they love that one. We have the model of Iranistan, his first house in Bridgeport. Now, if you saw The Greatest Showman, the house in that movie was not anywhere near here, but he built a regular house in Bethel for his wife. But he built Iranistan, which is in back of me, and it was the house was a copy of the Brighton Pavilion in Brighton, England, in many ways. It didn't look like it, but it had the elements of it. People were fascinated with that was what his house really looked like, his first house. He had it for 10 years. A workman left a pipe or a cigar on the floor or someplace in the building. It was wood. It burned down to the ground. He had 2 other houses, but none of them are here now. Second one he turned down himself. And then the last house was Marina. It was on the campus of Housatonic Community College, and they took it down for a dining hall. But, you can't save everything. But I wish they had saved that one as a regular museum for some other part of his life. But there's enough here to keep people interested. It didn't disappoint them that Hugh Jackman sort of embellished a lot, and Barnum didn't look like Hugh Jackman, but it brings people in, and it made people laugh when they see these things and really get to enjoy the museum.
Tell me some of the things that have changed since then, since you came then.
Well, of course, the first thing is we had the tornado. Everything was going along when we were trying to see how they could change different exhibits. But the tornado hit 10 years ago. We moved into this gallery, which is, when the bank was built, this gallery was given to us and the office place. But we were using it for shows. When the tornado hit, we put the exhibits we thought that we could not worry about, that would keep people interested. We put them in here. We've been just using this for the last 10 years, and it works. It works, it does. And we do put shows on sometimes, and we have a screen we can put out. But that's how we've had to handle it since the tornado. But we've had good visitation. And when the movie came out, when The Greatest Showman did come out, it did have a profound effect.
So you mentioned Jumbo. Tell me about Jumbo.
Well, Jumbo got his name when he was a little kid. We think it was Swahili for Jamba. It was Jamba, and it meant either hello or chief, something like that. But as he grew up, it sort of became Jumbo. But he had the name when he was little. But he got to be 12 foot tall, 6 tons. And the name became big because of Jumbo. And many people don't realize that. They see a box of cereal that says Jumbo size. Sometimes there's an elephant on it because of Jumbo. And Barnum only had him 3 years. But people remember Jumbo as much as they remember Barnum.
Wow.
And it's a funny thing. Kids run over to have their picture taken with them. And the shorter you are, the better the picture.
Yeah, but there's a lot like that. That Barnum had a big impact on everything that we see.
He
and
knew how to
hear.
produce. He embellished. He did embellish. But he was an honest man, and he wanted to entertain people. He was born in Bethel, Connecticut, which is 25 miles north of here. He saw the potential of going to New York, I guess, bought a museum, the Scudder Museum, and he was on his way. And people don't realize how old he was when he got into the circus business.
Yeah.
He was 60.
Yeah.
It was retirement plans. They learned a lot about Barnum here that they never knew about. And the circus was just the last part of his life. But it was a darn good circus.
What do you think of the plans for the museum going forward?
The ones I see at 21st century, it's what it needed. It needed to have the kids be able to interact with everything. Having a tour guide going around with a group, it's okay. But I think that people come in and can interact with the things they're going to have, they're going to get a lot more out of it. It needs to be in the 21st century. So perhaps the tornado and the COVID virus have given us a chance to maybe make it much bigger and much better. Even though it won't change size, the exhibits will. And we still have so much of Barnum that they can see, from Tom Thumb. We have reminders of all of them here in the building that they can see. And I think they'll enjoy it. They came when we only had the gallery open. Wait till you see the museum. It's just going to take a while, but we're going to get it open again.
Thanks for watching this episode of Who is Barnum to You? Who is Barnum to You is brought to you by the Barnum Museum, by me, Will Saris, and is produced by myself, Rui Pinot, and Tom Victor. Please go to barnum-museum.org where you can learn more about the Barnum Museum, and if you don't mind, click on that donate button. Every donation helps the museum. Thanks for watching.